Okay, last night was WWE's weekly television show, Monday Night Raw, and I'm back to do another review of that show. I've not reviewed an episode of Raw for about 4 months, so why is this one special? Why have I all of a sudden decided to review an episode? In fact, the last one I did was like 5 months ago. It was back in November last year when I went to watch it at the Arena. I'm pretty sure that's the last time I reviewed an episode of Raw. So why is this one so special? Well, first of all, I'm on a week. I've got a week's break from uni where I'm back at home, and I can relax and I can watch wrestling and I can make videos and I can upload them at my own leisure and just chill out. Also, last night I didn't even bother watching Raw. I thought it'd be crap. It's no point watching it. They've done the Rock Cena thing. That was the only important thing. I'll give it a rest this week and I'll watch it the day after. Well, I logged onto my computer and I got about 5 different things spoiled to me by people messaging me. Oh, have you seen this happen? Oh, have you seen this happen? So yeah, I was a bit gutted that I missed it. So I decided to watch it, and it was a pretty decent show. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Started off with John Cena coming down to the ring and said, right, I deserve a rematch against The Miz. Then Randy Orton came down and he interrupted him. Then Morrison came down, then R-Truth came down, then Vicky Guerrero and Ziggler came down. Basically, all it was people coming down to the ring and saying, right, I deserve a title shot because of this. Then the next ring music would hit and then they'd say, no, I deserve a title shot because of this. I enjoy this because this is how they used to do it in the Attitude Era. Like, for example, if Rock was the champion, Austin would be in the ring, say, right, I want a shot at you, Rock. Then Triple H would interrupt, and then Mankind would interrupt him, then Undertaker would interrupt him, then Big Show would come down, and then Chris Benoit would come down, and they'd all be like, oh, I deserve a title shot because of this. And then they'd sort out some match later on in the show where they'd arrange a #1 contender. So yeah, I like this kind of thing, and yeah, basically nothing special in what anyone said apart from Vicky Guerrero. Actually, she had the best one where she said, there's only one person who deserves a title shot, and that's me. And listen to this crowd and goes, oh, maybe not, but Dolph Ziggler definitely does it. And I thought it was a nice little break from the pretend seriousness of pro wrestling where she's just cracking a little joke in there, and it was quite refreshing. Yeah, anyway, while all this is going on, Michael Cole gets an email from the general manager, and he makes out the point, I've just got an email from the general manager on my iPad. They say this so he doesn't have to leave his thing, but at the same time, saying that he's got it on his iPad gets them endorsing this product. So I wonder how many iPads they've been given free by Macintosh just by constantly plugging them every single week. I bet it's a fair few, especially because WWE has got such a large audience. Yeah, so basically we go to break after the general manager, or Cole announces that the general manager's come up with this brand new concept. It's a 5-man elimination gauntlet. 2 men start in the ring randomly, then once that pinfall's gone, the next man would come in and the next man would come in. That would be the main event of this show. Then we cut to the break. Then when we come back from the break, we see this hand holding this Barbie doll, and then we hear a woman's laugh, ha 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 ha, more female, feminine than that. Although you may think I'm quite feminine, it's up to you. Yeah, then she flicks the head off the Barbie doll, bursts out laughing again. We're all wondering, oh, what's this? But obviously, most of us know what it is. It's going to be the debut of Awesome Kong. Finally, she's coming to the WWE. We heard about this, about 3 months ago now, when it came up on her Twitter saying, yes, I've got the job, yes, that mumbling my words here. We were all speculating, saying, oh, it must be Awesome Kong. I wonder when she's going to debut. People were saying, oh, she should debut at WrestleMania. She should just come in, squash everybody and win the Divas title. And I was like, no, don't do that. It's a pet peeve of mine when people say, oh, this person should debut at WrestleMania. WrestleMania is the biggest show of the year. You don't debut someone there. You build up a feud for them to have a match there and then put them over there. If you just debut them there, it just looks a bit silly because you started at the high point. And once you started at the high point, where's it to go from there? There isn't really anywhere to go. They've already had their WrestleMania moment. Storyline wise. So yeah, Awesome Kong, when she's holding this Barbie doll, flicking the head off, it's a clear signal of intent from her character that she's coming here to squash the Divas. She's here to beat the Divas. And how awesome would it be if she just comes along and just wipes out the division and they bring one person to just beat her, maybe Beth Phoenix or something like that. But yeah, speaking of Divas action, we had a Divas title match. Eve Torres defended the title against Brie Bella. Before the match, she asked the referee to mark Nikki Bella's hand with a marker pen so that if they did try and do the twin magic and the switcheroo, they'd catch them and then Eve Torres wouldn't be cheated out of this. Well, they did do the switcheroo, the referee did catch her while the referee's putting Nikki Bella back out the ring. Brie Bella hits the finisher on Eve Torres. She didn't even cheat, I don't think. There was no like hair pull, eye gouge or anything like that. Yeah, Brie Bella basically hits the finisher and gets the win. So Brie Bella is your new Divas champion. People are moaning about this, saying, oh, why are they taking the title off Eve? Brie Bella's rubbish. Well, I'm not a fan of Eve. In fact, I think Brie Bella's got a little bit more personality, and because she's got the twin gimmick, you can do more things with her. And especially, imagine Awesome Kong coming in, beating Brie Bella, beating Nikki Bella, beating them both like Brie Bella's so little and petite and like pretty that you can just put her next to this awesome Kong, this massive, intimidating woman. I'm a male. I'm like 6 foot tall. I would probably be intimidated if like an awesome Kong came up to me and tried to attack me. You know what I mean? Like, so imagine this like woman who's like probably like 5'6" or 5'8" or whatever. If Awesome Kong was to intimidate her, that would be such good television and such good action for the Divas. I think they could really put on a good match together. I think any woman in the Divas division could actually put on a good match of Awesome Kong, because they could do the Diva in peril stuff that's really easy to do, or relatively easy to do, compared to carrying a match where they both have to carry it. And Awesome Kong can just do the monster stuff, then squash him in the end. But yeah, that's for another time. Brie Bella is your new Divas champion. What do you all think of that? Are you all happy with Brie Bella being the new Divas champion? Because I'm not too bothered. It's better than Eve Torres in my opinion. Next up we had the debut of Cara. Now I was so much looking forward to Cara's debut, and I was loving his match all the way through. I thought it was a fantastic match right until the end. Right at the end, Primo and Cara are on the top rope. The match was full of high flying spots. Cara was allowed to use a lot of his fun moves, a lot of his lucha libre style moves, his just like a flip outside the ring and then a corkscrew in the air into a Hurricane Rana was a really pretty move in the match. But yeah, just lots of high flying moves which really impressed me. That I've seen it all before from other wrestlers and him, but the thing is, it's seen it on WWE TV that we're not used to seeing, and seeing really good in-ring action is something I'm not used to seeing in WWE for the last fair few years. Even a wrestler like Daniel Bryan isn't given a chance to do all his moves, but just a fraction of Sin Cara's moves are so impressive and so different that he can really stand out really quickly, like he has done in my opinion. But yeah, the Sin Cara Primo match, Sin Cara's doing really well with his spots all the way through until the end. Him and Primo both stood on the top rope, and Primo slips and pushes Sin Cara just a little bit off balance. Now you can tell that Sin Cara, when I was watching it, I was just thinking he could have stayed up there. But the way he could have stood up is by like, once Primo slips and give him a little bit of a push, is by pushing Primo once again. But that would have sent Primo backwards outside the ring, and like sending him flying backwards outside the ring is really dangerous. You need to be going the way you can see, so you can like protect yourself a little bit at least. So yeah, what happened was Primo slips and then pushes Sin Cara. Sin Cara falls to the outside, takes the hit. Now this makes him look like absolute garbage in my opinion. To the casual fan anyway. The casual fan will see, oh, he's gone up to the top rope to do this move, and between them they've slipped and he's gone falling off, and Primo stayed up. Whereas, in my opinion, Sin Cara's the one who did right here, because when Primo fell, one, he shouldn't have like pushed Sin Cara a little bit to knock Sin Cara off, but once he had done, Sin Cara could have like nudged him back again to hit, so he could stay up as well, but he didn't. He took the dive so he didn't endanger Primo. And as wrestlers, that's what you got to do for each other, don't you? They got to protect each other. So it was a really good spot. Well, not a spot, but it was a really good thing that Sin Cara just took the dive to the outside. Should have sold it a bit more, but obviously it's live TV, it's WWE, they've got limited time, so you have to get up pretty much straight away. Got back in the ring, kicked Primo in the head, climbed back on the top rope, repeated the spot, but actually got it this time. They both stood up vertical and then both did like a flippity floppity flew, whatever. I don't know the technical word for it. It was impressive, it was good. He got the pinfall, 1, 2, 3, Sin Cara wins on his debut to WWE. Then we got a core promo, the core come in the ring, and just before it we saw the Slam of the Week where Austin, Rock and John Cena had agreed to face each other next year, at WrestleMania. Mumbling my words, sorry. And the core came down and attacked him. Well, I say attacked, the core got their asses handed to them. Now this week the core are all moaning at each other, Wade Barrett saying, listen, I used to see us as equals, but now I see myself as better than you lot. You lot need to start pulling your weight, otherwise I'm going to be the leader and you lot can all fuck off, basically. As they all start moaning at each other, then Santino comes out with Daniel Bryan, Mark Henry and Evan Bourne and says, listen, you're the core, we are the apple. Now this is a sort of joke for the children, obviously, apple core, blah 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 blah. I didn't find it funny, I found it quite boring. We went to a commercial break. When we came back it was a 4-on-4 match. Now we've noticed how in the last few weeks we've had so many of these 4-on-4 matches, including the core against Santino and a team of Santino's choice or whatever. It's just getting really boring. I enjoy 4-on-4 matches, don't get me wrong. I really like seeing matches with lots of different guys in the ring at the same time, because you get to see different styles matching off against different styles, so you don't have to just see two guys going up against each other constantly, which can get a bit boring. But the thing is, because we've seen it so many times lately, it's been just boring. I didn't really pay attention to this match. Heath Slater got the win by pinning Santino, I think. Then we had an Edge speech. Now this was really emotional. When I was watching it, I was thinking, wow, this guy's given his livelihood. Well, this isn't livelihood. He's given a lot of his life for this business that he loves, that we love, and he's given his body to entertain us. And it hits home that little bit more. That when a guy like Edge, who's only been in the WWE for like what 10 years or so, he came in like 98, so it's like 13 years or so that he made his debut. He's only been in the WWE for 13 years, and like he said in the interview, or in his little promo, that he's losing feeling in his arms. Like, he's only been wrestling 13 years and he's losing feelings. He's done that for us. He's like put his body at harm for us. And like watching this, I was like feeling a little bit emotional inside. I was feeling for the guy. I was like, oh, I feel quite sorry for you. He's come out and he said that he has to retire because the doctor's telling him to. Sorry, man, this is just this video of mine is a bit all over the place, isn't it? I'm not really saying things in a logical order. I'm just really throwing things out there all the time. I apologise for that. It's not usually like that, is it? I hope it's not. I hope there's a bit more strategy to what I'm saying. But yeah, basically Edge, see there I go, just jumps back in again. Yeah, so Edge has said that he has to retire on doctor's orders. Then Hulk Hogan's put something up on his Twitter saying, oh, if I retired when the doctors told me to, then I would have been gone 15 years ago. But in all honesty, Hulk Hogan, you should have retired 15 years ago. Been an out of the ring personality, got really good at it, and then now in TNA you might have been able to say TNA. Whereas now you want to be a wrestler, but you're not a wrestler and you can't really work, so now you try and do this and you try and do that, and it's not working in TNA. Matt Hardy also came out on Twitter and said that even though we've had our problems, that we came in as friends and now we're leaving as friends because you're going to be missed. And I thought it was a really nice touch for Matt Hardy to come out publicly and say, you know what, I'm going to miss you as an in-ring performer, Edge. I'm going to miss your work, basically. And after all the stuff that happened between them and Lita and all that, it's really nice for him to come and do that. Then we went to commercial break. When we comes back, it shows Edge walking into the back, the gorilla position, well, near the gorilla position, and everyone's hugging him, and like, it was interesting to see who he hugged and who he just shook hands with. Like, I think it was Kane was the first person who hugged him. Oh no, it wasn't Kane, it was Goldust. I couldn't really tell because he was wearing a suit and I thought it was Kane at first, but yeah, it was Goldust. And then yeah, Randy Orton sort of put his arm out, but Edge just like shook it and walked off. I found that quite interesting. I don't believe this is part of the storyline, but what I do believe is, I do believe he'll be back, like say like a Shawn Michaels kind of thing. Like Shawn Michaels retired in '98, came back in like 2003, had like a 5-year retirement, or 2002 maybe, had like a 4 or 5 year retirement. I think that's what Edge might do, you know, rest his body a little bit, and then when technological advances come along and different procedures come out where Edge can get the correct medical advice and the correct medical treatment, I reckon he'll come back for a few years, get a little run, and then get his WrestleMania moment, his WrestleMania retirement, like the trend is nowadays to retire at WrestleMania. Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair and the likes. I reckon Edge will do that in a fair few years. He'll come back. That's my opinion. What is your thoughts on Edge's retirement? I'm not too gutted because although he's a great ring worker and I really do enjoy his stuff, the pro wrestling business like is really good at just churning out another one, and they will bring someone to take his place, whether it be a Dolph Ziggler or a Miz or a Daniel Bryan or someone like that, Kofi Kingston perhaps, Truth, who knows. They will bring someone to take his place who will entertain me just as Edge has, so I'm not going to miss him as such, but I do feel for the guy that he has to retire, and he doesn't want to. He says that he doesn't want to, it seems like he doesn't want to, but you know, for his own health's sake, I'm perfectly fine with him retiring. Then we have the main event, winner to face the Miz at Extreme Rules. Oh no, we had another match in here that I've not written down on it, and that was Jerry Lawler versus Jack Swagger. If Jack Swagger won, then Cole wouldn't have to face Lawler again. But if Lawler won, then Cole would have to face him in a match of his choice at Extreme Rules. Now get this for an Extreme Rule, Lawler won, right? And this is extreme, so be prepared. Like your parents, if you're underage, might not let you watch this. In fact, I'm 22, and my parents might not let me watch this because this is really, really out there, right? The Extreme Rule that Jerry Lawler picked is a tag team match. Yeah, he's going there. He's going for a tag team match. Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross, that maniac Jim Ross, against Michael Cole and Jack Swagger. Now Jack Swagger and Michael Cole fell out on Raw as well. How amazing is that? What an Extreme Rule that is. What an extreme thing to put in a match. You know what? Fuck barbed wire. Fuck tables, ladders and chairs. I want you in a tag team match. Yeah, he is mental. He is absolutely crazy beyond his rocker that he's going to do so much damage in this tag team match. Oh yes. You know how stupid are we as fans to like just be like, oh, is that the Extreme Rule? Like, I might look like a muppet, and next week they might say, oh, the Extreme Rule is going to be this. But I don't think so. He's chosen it to be a tag team match, which is absolutely daft. Out of all the rules in the world, you could have had him in a strap match, in a cage match or whatever, but you've chosen a tag team match. Whatever. But yeah, Swagger, and basically after the match, Cole's like, how did you lose that? How did you lose that? Swagger's like, well, you distracted me. And he's like, no. He starts hitting him, starts like poking him in the chest, and I think he slapped him or whatever. And they fell out, and then Jerry Lawler announces that. So maybe Swagger's going to turn face, who knows. But yeah, then we had the main event. Orton and Ziggler started it off. Ziggler beat, I wasn't really paying attention to this bit, but Ziggler got like a cheap win over Randy Orton, I believe, from what the commentators were saying. I think he rolled him up and then grabbed hold of the tights. Straight after the match, straight after the first bit of the match even, members of the New Nexus came out. David Otunga, Michael McGillicuddy and Mason Ryan came out, and they basically battered Orton. What's the point after the match? I don't really get it. Maybe just to assert their dominance again, I suppose. But yeah, couldn't they just done this to get him out of the match, like while the referee wasn't looking or something like that? Who knows? Yeah, then Ziggler versus R-Truth. R-Truth gets the win over Ziggler. Then Truth versus Morrison. Basically, Miz is at the ringside doing all this, and Miz is like, oh, Morrison should stop his high-flying moves, he should just stick to regular moves, and I perfectly agree with him. And but that was just to draw heat, because everyone loves John Morrison's moves, and everyone wants to hate Miz for saying that, oh, shut up, Miz, John Morrison's moves are amazing, he's a lot better than yours, shut up, whatever. Truth beat Morrison, and then it was Truth and Cena the last two in. Miz gets in the ring, and he attacks Cena, whilst Alex Riley attacks R-Truth. Double disqualification. Miz gets on the mic and says, oh, what a shame there's going to be no #1 contender, because you both drew, so you're both losers. There's but a double disqualification, so you're both losers. Was it Jerry Lawler or Josh Matthews, whatever he's called, the guy at ringside, got another message from the general manager. He opens it up, and it says there's going to be joint #1 contenders, R-Truth and John Cena, so it's going to be a triple threat match at Extreme Rules. John Cena, Miz and R-Truth. Now what an Extreme Rule that is, triple threat. I mean, that's not an Extreme Rule, is it? It's just a match type, it's just a different number of people in the ring. That's not Extreme Rules. They've taken this concept of ECW One Night Stand back in 2005, and 6 years later really bastardised it with the two matches that have been announced so far. I think maybe another one. The two matches on my mind so far that I can remember is a tag team match and a triple threat match. Now that's quite bollocks in my opinion. A lot of people are moaning that R-Truth won this. Well, R-Truth's going to be in the world title match. Not too bothered, in all honesty. Like, he's just cannon fodder, isn't he? He's not going to win the match. He's just being put in here just for the sake of it. Maybe give him a main event match just because it's in his contract that he needs to have a certain amount of main event matches before his contract can be relinquished. But yeah, I think Cena is, well, I don't care. Well, I don't know. It's probably going to be a Miz win. He's probably going to pin R-Truth, and that's just going to be how they get out of it and how they manage to give Miz the title for that little bit longer. But yeah, people say no, it should be John Morrison in this match. It should be John Morrison. Why are they complaining? This is all scripted. John Morrison isn't planned to win the title. Neither is R-Truth. Miz is going to be whichever one of them is going to be in there. If you are a fan of John Morrison, you should be glad that he's not been put in this match, because now he doesn't have to do the job to Miz again. Yeah, that's all I got to say about the show. It was a decent show. Let me know what you think about all I've said, what you thought of the show, and yeah, what do you think about Edge's retirement? That's the big story. The big stories coming out of this are Edge's retirement, which is wow. It's come out of nowhere. Like we've all heard the rumours like Edge needs to retire soon and all that, but we didn't think it'd be this soon. We'd thought it'd be a WrestleMania match, wouldn't we? There's that. There's R-Truth getting a world title shot. There's the Apple thing. That was one of the things that I found out. I was like, what? Cara debuting, Brie Bella winning the women's title, and an awesome Kong promo. So yeah, quite a lot going on here, and Jack Swagger maybe starting to turn face. So yeah, let me know what you thought of the show, and with that I'm out. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoy my videos, please hit that subscribe button, and with that I'm out.